fucking Comcast. 40 seconds of logos.
Everything you had, we had it and did it better.
Condescend narration.
Me? I'm Ryan Pierce, successful author.
Jesus, the intros and backstories of these women are so scattershot that I might as well be watching Suicide Squad.
How do you hook up with the second coming of Oprah?
Ryan's strength has always been making others their best selves.
Nice sentiment and all, but that doesn't even come close to actually answering the question.
The Flossie Posse was there to witness.
Wait, I thought we'd already jumped ahead to 2004 with Dina, and 2011 with Lisa. Now we're back to 2002? Jesus, movie, pick a timeline.
The Essence folks just called. They want you to be the keynote speaker this year.
And that's when you realize that the Flossie Posse needs to ride again. Tell them I'd be honored.
Luckily for Essence and movie, Ryan was having this flashback episode just in time to be invited to an event that could accommodate her 3 friends.
You can purchase Ryan Pierce's latest New York Times bestseller in New Orleans at Essence Fest.
Or I assume you could purchase it through Amazon, or even from a local bookstore, considering it's already a bestseller. I guess the copywriter got bored and started playing around with the combination of these 2 names, but Ryan Stewart was the best they could do? Man, I miss the creative salad days of Bennifer and Brangelina.
Hold, please. Yeah, motherfucker, eat a bowl of motherfucker. You know you need me.
You put me on FaceTime?
Character thinks they put someone on hold and starts talking about them only to find out they didn't put them on hold and they heard every word cliche.
Bedtime, 8 p.m. sharp. Ma, I need you to focus.
But she's writing all this down, right? Sure, Lisa's a little OCD, but there's no reason for her to expect her mother to memorize everything she's saying. And it turns out Mom lives here anyway, so does she really need this level of instruction?
I miss you. Oh, I miss you so.
Half of you are not going off to war.
I have to take a sin off for Tiffany Haddish, who was one of the best things about 2017. And yes, there are other places in this movie where she has better lines, but it would basically be one big bleep, so here you go.
Scrubs? Really?
What's wrong with this?
Okay, I know Lisa's the supermom character that doesn't think about fashion, but she's literally wearing her name badge on these scrubs. You're telling me she wasn't planning on changing clothes for the trip?
And to underwrite a Ryan and Stewart talk show.
That's amazing.
She's gonna send her business affair peeps down to New Orleans this weekend to make the offer.
Even though Ryan will be tremendously busy at Essence Fest, and it would be much easier to call or email, Best Mart has to meet her in New Orleans so that we can add some hijinks to this deal.
I love you.
I love you.
In love with you.
I'm in love with you.
Jesus, could they telegraph that Stewart's a cheating bastard any harder at the beginning of this movie?
Oh, before I spank you, I just did. Gosh, that man knows how to exit a room.
Looks like Ryan's agent went to the Harvey Weinstein School of Business.
Got my hand sanitizer, got my anti-nausea medication. Hold on to that. Oh, hi, earplugs.
Lisa is required to emphasize her apparently one character trait by naming all the in her bag out loud.
Well, then in that case, let me go ahead and get those 3 shots now.
The sequence couldn't get any more bridesmaidsy unless some lame character was shown wearing a colorful neck rope. Oh. Also, why does the flight attendant even look at Dina weird? Is a pre-flight 3-shot order even that odd of a request? Especially in first class? Asking for a friend.
How long has it been since you got that back blown out?
Jesus, with all this badgering, it feels like the film is setting up Girls Trip 2 to be about Lisa becoming a serial killer.
You getting some this weekend. Straight up, you gonna get at least 2 inside of you.
Great, we can add needs to get laid to Lisa's fully fleshed out, overworked mom character. Also, is Lisa really on board with the whole I gotta get laid train until her friends basically bully her into it? She literally says she's happy with what she has and doesn't express a want or need for sex. But hey, I guess that grapefruit's not gonna itself. Dina apparently can make a backing track appear out of nowhere when she wants to sing. Contrary to popular belief, this is not how you accomplish a rusty trombone. They've been in New Orleans for probably less than an hour, and Dina has already collected all those beads. She's not even in proper flashing attire.
That's some white boy right there.
White boy shadowing.
Who is this ratchet ass bitch? Simone. Some Instagram hoe.
Look, I know Sasha's in the gossip world, but she's able to immediately identify a random Instagram model and her location from one photo taken from behind.
It's so cool. It's moving around.
Yeah, it's super cute.
Because what you need while you're drinking a lot is to totally be spinning around.
I'm sorry, but that's not the way we do things here.
But we are not pressing charges, okay?
Awesome, but this is the hotel manager, not the police, so why would this affect their ability to throw Dina out?
But our brand is who we are. It's who you are.
This works.
I called. All the 4- and 5-star hotels are booked.
Why is Sasha making this call, though? Ryan's the keynote speaker at the Essence Fest, and they promised her a VIP package. Shouldn't she at least check with them?
Y'all expecting somebody? Foggy peephole.
There are literally 2 windows that Ryan could use to see who's outside the door, but let's continue this tomfoolery for no reason.
Now, men are almost anything, but not you. in that outfit.
Movie follows the bad mom's rule of beautiful women not getting because of what they choose to wear, when in reality that outfit Lisa has on could be covered in vomit, and she would still have 10 dudes lined up, especially in New Orleans.
I had both my kids, right? And I kept their placenta.
Movie throws in even more bad mom by making the motherly character completely and unbelievably clueless about how to interact with men.
Ryan can do no wrong in your eyes. Even when she bailed on all of our plans to start the first Black Huffington Post.
That was 5 years ago.
Argument exposition.
Hey, pretty lady from Bourbon Street.
Clearly these two were going to run into each other again, but how? This isn't Home Alone 2 Lost in New York level coincidence, but New Orleans is big enough that there are enough people there to make this second meetup next to impossible.
Ladies, look what your man's got.
Oh, hell no, I'm about to get pregnant tonight.
Hold on, aren't they already in the VIP area? And even if there's yet another layer of VIPness, why doesn't Ryan have that already? Essence itself invited her ass here. Also, somehow Julian has 4 extra backstage passes.
I have to pee.
Look, the line is short over there. There's a long line in the bathroom here.
How the could Dina possibly know that? Yeah, I know that comedy's got a comedy, but the fact that this would ever happen on a heavily trafficked zip line is some bullshit that I'm not ready to accept. Also, this makes no sense. Lisa is the tiniest of the crew by far. She should have just zoomed over to the other side according to physics alone. If anything, it would have been more likely that she'd shot across so fast they couldn't stop her, and she crashed through a window, which would still provide comedy, but with far less urine. How is Dina allowed to zip line out there while Lisa's still fucking hanging there? I know this is New Orleans, but there's gotta be some regulation.
I didn't know you was in the golden showers, girl. That's my jam. Watch this.
Man, most of this movie's wacky but believable. But at this moment, we've reached the absurdity level of a bad Adam Sandler movie. Also, this is fucking Bourbon Street, where you can easily get arrested for taking a quick leak in a dark alley. But both Dina and Lisa let loose a fucking monsoon from a zip line and face 0 repercussions.
Well, maybe she needs you around a little more often.
Earlier, Ryan was accosted by many people who knew who she was, and they're currently hanging out in an extremely crowded area. So why hasn't anyone noticed her getting hammered and hitting on Julian?
Alright, it's all yours.
Are you sure?
Crash with the guys in the band.
Look, I'm sure Julian's a well-respected musician and all, but he's a fucking bassist. So why the hell does he get this enormous suite to himself when the rest of the band's all staying together?
Just grapefruit them. Yeah, I ain't never grapefruited before.
This sets up a hilariously profane scene, but it's also super goddamn convenient that Dina brings up this sex act during breakfast, when there's a grapefruit readily available. This scene is over the top and kind of funny, but from a practical standpoint, how does this work exactly? It doesn't make the dick any smaller when you put the fruit on it, and what happens later in the movie when this inevitably happens is what would happen every fucking time you try to put a citrus fruit on a man's junk.
Why don't we invite someone from our audience to come up and have a taste?
Ooh, I'll do it.
Oh, you in the red.
Me, this movie's not even trying to hide the constant plot conveniences here. Not only does the Instagram girl show up at the perfect time, Carla immediately invites her up on stage.
But I could use some extra sausage.
What's this woman's deal? She's been sneaking around with Stuart this whole time, but now she decided to actively provoke Ryan? Fucking why?
Well, I am going to take this underutilized tool and I'm going to put it on this overutilized sausage.
It appears as though the crowd understands that Ryan's talking about cutting off Stuart's dick, and they're on fucking board with it.
If I leak it, you can get in front of it. Steer the conversation instead of letting TMZ write their own bullshit spin on it.
What the hell sense does this make? TMZ's gonna write something about this picture, even if it's posted from somewhere else. And if Ryan knows the picture's gonna come out eventually, she could get ahead of it at any time.
I got the best thing in New Orleans right here. This is 200-year-old wormwood abstinence.
Oh great, movie has time to perpetuate the absinthe will make you hallucinate myth, because we haven't gotten enough shenanigans out of this group already. Also, I know dude is trying to make money, but if this is so rare, then why is it the first thing he offered Dina? As if this movie hasn't ripped off all the other raunchy comedies enough, Dina essentially pulls the roofie trick from The Hangover.
Kids have a way of bringing people closer together. Definitely have a way of changing men.
Yeah, made your husband change his address.
How the did she hear Lisa essentially whispering to Ryan all the way in the other room, over the music that's playing in the living room?
Whoa.
The absinthe hits all the girls at exactly the same time, which is definitely how drugs work. Jesus, how many candles does this table need? I know one was used for comedic effect earlier, but there are 11 additional ones?
Put it on my card.
I get that the server is confused, but why would she actually accept the shoot?
Yeah, what's plan B?
Plan B should be blaming all this on Dina, because it's 100% her fault. She attempted to slice open Stuart's throat, committed public urination all over Bourbon Street, tried to molest Morse Chestnut, and now has poisoned all of her friends. This is just for starters. They're all tripping so hard that Sasha just tried to fuck a lamp, but somehow they were able to pick out and purchase wigs and sunglasses from a merchant for their disguises.
Come on, bitches. Let's set it up.
The fact that Dina says this and it cuts to Queen Latifah and Jada Pinkett Smith, who were in 1996's Set It Off, is almost sin removal worthy. But the fact that they linger and do this knowing nod thing is indicative of the potential that's lost in this movie, so god damn it, at this point someone's gotta think she's the one being stalked. to work off. I mean, did they have this dance choreographed and ready to go tonight, just in case they ran into a rival group that also had 4 members? Nothing says sexy dance off like a human centipede. So did the Flossy Posse win? Is it over? How are these things adjudicated? This is Tina. She has a condition of never realizing when she's been served. But this fight's been going on like 40 seconds, and the cops are already here? Where were these f***ers when Dina and Lisa were dousing random people in urine last night?
How did you find us?
I have superpowers.
My favorite one of them is bad screenwriting. Also, Lorenz Tate works in an audition tape in the middle of this movie, since he's one of 5 people in Hollywood who have yet to be in a Marvel or DC movie. Even though the sign by the doors clearly states that you need a keycard to re-enter after 10 p.m., they open automatically for Ryan.
She about to grapefruit him.
What is that?
You've never grapefruited?
Thanks for hammering me over the head with this dude's giant movie, but I'm wondering, why does she need 2? The demonstration Dina gave this morning used the fruit as a device to be used in addition to oral sex. So even though this dude is apparently freakishly endowed, the second grapefruit should be useless.
Let's listen. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Dina can somehow time exactly how fast Lisa can carve and prepare this grapefruit. Why isn't he removing the grapefruit?
Good, I'm talking about Caitlyn Jenner pregnant by Tiger Good. Photos to come.
The Sasha having financial troubles subplot is easily the least interesting storyline in this movie.
You two give people hope that you can have it all, and we want in.
So we're just going to ignore that whole incident last night? And even if Bethany bought that bull about Ryan's allergy medicine, she saw everyone else f***ed up too, right? Water under the bridge, here's an ass ton of money? Shouldn't the fact that Sasha's hanging out with one of the most powerful women in the country give her website some cred? I mean, she's been posting this to Instagram all weekend.
I'm just, working on my craft.
Oh, I can tell. Did you see those ladies? They're going crazy for you.
Look, I realize Julian's attractive and all, but there is no basis that would get anywhere near this level of attention.
I'm pregnant, and before you even insult me, yes, it's Stewart's.
And she just figured this out? She was out at the f***ing club last night, drinking and dancing and brawling, but she just happened to take a pregnancy test this morning on vacation, and she knows it's Stewart's.
Do you even love me anymore?
Okay, movie, can you make up your mind about whether this is a pay-for-play sham marriage or an actual loving relationship? Because at this point, I think you're confused.
He digmatized you that quick.
Dina, he's my husband. He's not some guy in a bathroom stall.
Why can't Ryan explain that they have a big deal with Bestmart, and if they split up, her career could be over?
You don't get it. You all can't get it. You're not in my world.
This character's fight before inevitably reconciling in the third act cliche is so cliche that I might as well be watching The Secret Life of Pets.
This choice is diminishing you.
Diminishing me? Says the woman who chooses to talk about people for a living?
Damn, I didn't realize Sasha was on the CinemaSins payroll. I wish she'd been assigned to this movie.
I quit my job at the Times to get our website off the ground.
Holy there was way too much of this psychodrama for a movie that features 2 instances of crowd pissing.
Both of y'all bitches is fake.
On the next Real Housewives of Girls trip.
You have ruined my life.
See, the reason I can't care about this relationship is that the central conflict is factually inaccurate. Ryan knows it, Sasha knows it, we know it. So can we just follow Dina around for the rest of the movie?
And to anyone out there who I've hurt, I truly am sorry.
Even if there is a fancy way for a f***ing blog to text a phone that there's a live post happening, why did Ryan get it so late? Sasha's already done with her apology. This movie has had a serious lack of crowds, especially considering where they are. But when there needs to be an obstacle-inducing traffic jam, one magically appears. Also, what's the rush? I mean, I know they want to support Ryan at her speech, but they're not stopping her from triggering a bomb or anything. Do they know the movie's almost over? Is that it?
I do not have it all. In fact, my life is all kind of screwed up.
I don't mean to keep harping on the fact that this movie is bad moms, but I'm pretty sure this is an exact line that Mila Kunis delivered while on stage at the end of the movie.
Sit your ass down.
To be fair to Stewart, there is no chair or place on stage for him to sit his ass down.
I was Ryan, a girl with her own ambitions and her own dreams.
Julian has the dawning realization that this speech is going to lead to him getting f***ed tonight.
I would never hurt you.
Are we still on this?
Sasha, I want you to be my partner.
Yes, I do.
Hang on. Did Bethany agree to this? She literally just said that she wanted Ryan Solo for the deal. Also, this is a nice sentiment and all, but I would think Lisa and Dina feel a little shafted right now. Dina doesn't have a job to go back to either.
The Flossy Posse is back.
And will inevitably be back again for a girls' trip Christmas.
That is a beautiful penis. Smashed all over that thing.
Damn, not only is Lisa sexually woke all of a sudden, she picked up a nasty revenge porn habit.
How do you hook up with the second coming of Oprah?
Ryan's strength has always been making others their best selves.
The Almighty says, don't change the subject, just answer the f***ing question.
I was good, Miss Miller.
Hello, Newman.
I feel fine. I feel so fine. You're crazy. You're crazy, man. You're crazy. I like you, but you're crazy.
Doctor.
Doctor?
Doctor.
Doctor?
Doctor.
Doctor.
I feel good. I feel great. I feel wonderful. I feel good. I feel great.
Look, the line is short over there. There's a long line in the bathroom here. Just go for it. You can do it. Strong. I am powerful. I am beautiful. I am. I like Hennessy and booty sweat up in here.
Man, I'm thirsty. Might as well have some of this booty sweat I got back in Da Nang.
Cause tonight you suckers got served.
I slapped the bass big time.